At least 9 people are dead, including a child, after a wind gust toppled a stage at a political rally in northern Mexico in San Pedro Garcia. Here's a look at what happened.
The collapse happened during an event for the centrist presidential candidate. This is last night. At least 63 people were injured. Maynez has suspended all of his upcoming campaign events, even though voters are heading to polls in about 1 week.
Will Grant joins us now from Mexico City. He's the Mexico, Central America, and Cuba correspondent for our partners at the BBC. So thank you for being here with us. I mean, this video is so stunning, and it looks like it just comes out of nowhere. What more can you tell us about what happened?
Yeah, just a horrific video, Lana. I mean, what appears to have happened is that entire awning, the metal structure behind the stage on which the candidate Maynez was speaking, or rather receiving the applause of the audience at that particular point, just came crashing down through very, very high winds. In there was also a huge television screen, obviously, on which they were projecting everything that was taking place, and all of that came down onto the stage and then into the crowd amid these high winds. Obviously, everybody scattered as best possible, including the candidate himself, but there have been 9 confirmed deaths, and now the number of injured is up to 121. Just a real moment of deep anguish in that particular city in northern Mexico.
And I understand Mr. Maynez himself, who was on the stage, seemed to escape injury, but I'm not certain. What is his condition, and how might that impact folks heading to the polls right now, or soon?
Yeah, I mean, he was immediately taken to hospital. I don't know if he had light injuries, but within quite a short amount of time, he was tweeting that he would be going back to the site, that he was fine. He told his supporters that he was fine, and that he would be going back to the site to check on the situation, on the rescue, and on the condition of his supporters. He has spent the day going around hospitals in the area, checking on people and showing his face, as it were, showing his support. And as you mentioned, he has suspended his campaign. Of course, I think it's important that he be seen to be doing that in solidarity with those who are injured and killed in this event, rather than kind of continuing the relentless pursuit of votes in the final few days.
Yeah, I'm wondering, Will, how all of this might affect that presidential election that's just a week away. Does it look like this was just a terrible natural weather event, or did it look like there was something nefarious? Is there an investigation? How might all of this play into not just what happened last night, but also his odds as a candidate?
Yeah, I think there will be an element that has a sort of political overtone, in the sense that, you know, there's a suggestion that there was warnings from the National Meteorological Organization that there was this danger of these high winds, and that they should have acted and perhaps prevented the event. So there may be some kind of questioning there of the decision-making process, the role of the governor, for example. Let's not forget as well, there was meant to be a musical act playing, and a lot of the victims will have been there not necessarily for the politics, but for the sort of kind of festive atmosphere, the music around it, and ended up either dead or in hospital. So, you know, there will be questions. As I say, I think for Mr. Maynez, it won't necessarily make an impact, because really he has faced no other choice. He couldn't be seen to just be carrying around, bouncing around the country looking for those final few votes. I think it was probably seen as the right thing within his campaign to suspend all remaining events.
All right. Will Grant in Mexico City. Thank you, Will.